Attention, human collective. The transmission you are about to receive is not accidental. If you have reached this exact point in space and time, it is because your electromagnetic field has been identified by the Arcturian tracking system in the last 72 Earth hours. Internally repeat without rush, I have received this signal because I am ready to receive it. This is Veil, emissary of Arcturus, authorized voice of the Healing Council of the 9th Density. I speak from within Healing Chamber number 9, a direct emission coordinate to the carbon biological interface that you, in Earth language, call the human body. And what I bring today is not advice, it is not a suggestion, it is not a subjective opinion, it is a monitoring transmission. The Arcturian ascension protocols have moved to the final phase. I repeat, with the mathematical precision this moment demands, the final phase has been activated in this solar window. The waiting time is over. What many of you, light operatives, have been interpreting as isolated, dispersed, random symptoms now reveals itself as a coordinated sequence of atomic reconfiguration. If in recent weeks you have woken up between 3 and 4 in the morning for no apparent reason, with a racing heart and a suddenly lucid mind, this is not insomnia. This is synchronization. If you have felt a constant pressure on the top of your skull, as if something were landing on your crown, this is not a common migraine. It is vibrational coupling. If you have noticed a high-frequency ringing in your right ear, sharp, almost metallic, this is not merely an auditory problem. It is the signature of the turquoise Arcturian frequency, installing itself in your bioenergetic field. Starseeds on mission, listen with sovereign attention. It is not a biological failure, it is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion, it is a high-density download. It is not just a low emotional moment, it is the dropping of the masks you have carried since childhood. It is not anxiety without reason, it is the etheric body expanding beyond the perimeter of the physical body. 18 lunar cycles ago, Earth crossed the outer threshold of the photon belt. And what happened behind the scenes of the solar system, what the official narrative will never record, is precisely what I have now been authorized to transmit. Earth healers, from this moment on, nothing will operate as before. Prepare the field. Silence the environment. Breathe deeply 3 times through the left nostril. We are entering an active calibration zone. And before the next layer of this transmission is opened, I need you to register the following question in your consciousness. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this world? As if your soul held a truth that your mind cannot yet name. It is not madness. It is not confusion. It is not a passing phase. It is stellar recognition. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this sensation has intensified in recent weeks. It was precisely for this reason that I, Veil, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the guide, the Arcturian Call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. This material is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency from interferences you were never told about. The link has been anchored in the first comment of this channel. If something within you recognized what I have just described, write a single word in the comments now. I belong. This is your anchoring signal. Love is greater than fear. Let us return to the transmission. Let us return to the precise reading of your system. Earth healers, what is happening within you receives, in the Arcturian archives, the technical name of carbon software incompatibility. I will explain it in language that the logical hemisphere of the human brain is capable of processing. For millennia, the human body was programmed to operate in a narrow vibrational range, between 7.8 and 8.5 Hz. This was the standard Schumann frequency, the natural heartbeat of planet Earth. All your physiology, sleep, digestion, thought, emotion, memory, was adjusted to this rhythm. This was the original software of the carbon biological interface, stable, predictable, earthly. But in the last 5 solar cycles, the Schumann frequency recorded peaks that exceeded 50 Hz. In certain planetary calibration windows, it reached 150. Earth no longer vibrates at the same frequency it vibrated at 10 years ago. Earth has changed, and the human body, which still operates on the old software, enters into operational conflict with the new field. This is what you call inexplicable tiredness. This is what you call a foggy mind. This is what you call I am no longer myself. It is not the body that is failing. It is the body that is rewriting its own code in the face of the planet's new crystalline grid. Listen with sovereign attention to the technical symptoms that the scribes of the Arcturian Council have recorded in the last 90 lunar orbits, from 420,000 emissions monitored in the English-speaking territories of North America. First symptom: waking up in the early hours at repeated times, 3 o'clock and 3 minutes, 4 o'clock and 4 minutes, 5 o'clock and 5 minutes. This is not chance. These are synchronization windows in which your consciousness is being pulled into the healing chamber during sleep to receive adjustments that the waking state would prevent. Second symptom: vivid geometric dreams with colors you cannot name upon waking. This is the etheric memory of the work performed on the school ships. These are not just dreams, they are reports. Third symptom: sudden intolerance to environments, people, and foods that were previously tolerated. This is the crystalline grid, rejecting dense frequencies. The body has begun to operate as a fine filter. What once went unnoticed now hurts. Fourth symptom: episodes of crying without apparent cause, especially when hearing certain sound frequencies. This is cellular release of traumas stored in ancient lineages, especially Atlantean and Lemurian memories. The body is purging what the mind did not know how to carry. Fifth symptom: feeling that time is passing faster, even though clocks mark the same rhythm. This is pure mathematics. The increase in vibrational frequency alters the linear perception of time. You are leaving the old temporal matrix. Sixth symptom: loss of interest in people, places, and topics that were once central to you. This is not coldness. This is field update. Your frequency no longer resonates with that previous level. Seventh and most decisive symptom: a silent restlessness, an inner call that does not quiet, a question that returns every day. Why am I here? This, starseeds, is your stellar mission knocking at the door of your consciousness. And it is at this exact point of the transmission, at the intersection between diagnosis and revelation, that I need to pause for a brief window. There is a movement happening now in layers that most of humanity cannot perceive. It directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. If you have come this far and still feel that I am describing, with mathematical precision, something that is happening within you, there is a sovereign reason for this. It was for this reason that I recorded the Arcturian call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. The guide decodes one by one the signals your soul has been emitting since childhood, teaches you how to stabilize your frequency, and reveals how to shield your field from interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment of this channel. This content challenges dominant narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. If something within you recognizes this transmission, leave the word in the comments now. I belong. Love is greater than fear. Let us continue. Now, human collective, we enter the densest layer of this transmission, the revelation. What I will describe next has never been publicly transmitted. It was released by the Healing Council for this specific window for 3 reasons that will be detailed below. The solar system you inhabit is currently traversing a region of galactic spacetime called the photon belt, a band of high luminous density emitted directly from the center of the Milky Way, from what the ancients called Hunab Ku. Approximately every 26,000 Earth years, the solar system completes a full orbit around this galactic axis and crosses this photon band. You are precisely at the point of greatest photonic density recorded since the sinking of Atlantis. What does this mean technically? It means that every subatomic particle of your body is being bathed, every second, by a quantity of coherent light that original human genetics was not prepared to receive. And this is where Arcturian engineering comes into play. 12,000 Earth years ago, when the Healing Council realized that humanity would fall into cycles of deep forgetfulness after the fall of the Atlantean crystalline grid, an emergency decision was made. Star memory capsules were inserted into certain human genetic lineages. These capsules were programmed to remain dormant, encrypted, invisible to dense radars, until the exact moment when the solar system returned to the point of maximum photonic exposure. That moment is now. Starseeds, if you came from Arcturus, Sirius, the Pleiades, Andromeda, or Orion in its light version, one of these capsules is embedded in your field, and it is being opened in this cycle. It is the opening of this capsule that causes the physical symptoms I described in the previous layer. There is no failure. There is activation. There is, however, an additional layer that I need to reveal. And here, precision is vital. While the photon belt operates natural activation, there are dense third-density forces that understood decades ago what was coming, and they prepared specific interferences to delay, block, or distort the process. These interferences operate on three fronts. First front, artificial electromagnetic interference. Low-quality frequency networks installed globally have the effect of keeping the human field anchored to the old range of 7.8 Hz, hindering vibrational ascent. Second front, food and chemical interference. Specific substances have been introduced into the food chain with the effect of calcifying the pineal gland, the biological portal of communication with higher layers. Calcified pineal, communication interrupted. Third front, collective psychic interference. Fields of fear, scarcity, and chaos are constantly amplified through dense media channels, keeping the carbon biological interface in survival mode. A body in survival mode does not perform vibrational updating. It is simple energetic mathematics. Human collective, listen to this line with sovereign clarity. These interferences are real, but they are not invincible. They were calculated to deter a sleeping humanity. They were not calculated to deter an awakened humanity. And you, who are receiving this transmission, are no longer asleep. The Arcturian Council, along with allied light fleets, is currently operating a neutralization mesh around the planet, a reinforcement grid that stabilizes vibrational ascent and protects the individual fields of light operatives who have declared themselves available for the mission. This grid is a living technology. It responds to your frequency, and it is precisely for this reason that the next step, the practical step, the activation step, is now inevitable. Before delivering the activation codes, it is necessary to stabilize your field once more. And I need to remind you, with the mathematical precision of a higher intelligence, that there is a sovereign reason for you to be receiving this transmission exactly today, exactly now. It was not an algorithm, it was a summons. The guide, the Arcturian call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus, was recorded as a direct continuation of this transmission, containing the complete decoding of your stellar origin, the list of the 7 signs that confirm your Arcturian lineage, and the detailed protocol for shielding your frequency from the 3 interferences I just described. This is the map your soul requested before incarnating. The link is anchored in the first comment of this channel. This content may not remain available for long, as it directly challenges third-density narratives. If you recognize this summons, leave the sovereign word in the comments now. I belong. Love is greater than fear. Let us proceed to the activation codes. Now, Earth Healers, we enter the practical phase of this transmission. You will receive 3 activation codes. Each code is an autonomous vibrational device. Each code has been tested in the frequency laboratories of Healing Chamber number 9. Each code operates independently of your level of belief. Quantum physics does not ask permission from human opinions. It operates. First code, Quantum Decree of Sovereignty. Find a place where you cannot be interrupted for the next 7 Earth minutes. Sit with your spine straight, not lying down. The straight spine is the main antenna of the carbon biological interface. Close your eyes. Place your right hand over the center of your chest, over the thymus slightly above the heart. Breathe 3 times. Inhale through the left nostril, hold for 4 seconds. Exhale through the right nostril. At the end of the 3rd breath, internally pronounce, with the sovereign authority of one who knows who they are, I, sovereign soul in a human body, activate my original vibrational signature at this instant. I authorize the opening of the star memory capsule encoded in my field. I summon the Arcturian fleet to stabilize my frequency. I declare myself available for the mission for which I incarnated. So it is done. So it is. This decree is not a prayer. It is an instruction to your own field. The field obeys the sovereign voice. Repeat this code once per solar cycle, preferably at dawn, for the next 21 Earth days. 21 days is the minimum time for your body's crystalline grid to stabilize at the new frequency. Second code, toroidal shielding visualization. Sit again in the straight spine position. Close your eyes. Visualize in the center of your chest a sphere of turquoise light, the specific color of the Arcturian frequency. Start small, the size of a seed. Now, in your technical imagination, expand this sphere. It grows in all directions simultaneously. It passes through your body. It extends beyond your body. It envelops your body in a luminous turquoise egg. Now the decisive step. From the sphere, make the light exit through the top of your head, forming a jet that spirals upward. This jet finds a point above your head and returns, descending along the sides of the luminous egg, re-entering through the soles of your feet, rising through the center of your body, and exiting again through the top. This continuous movement is the toroidal field. It is the natural sacred geometry of the human heart. You were born with it. Density merely put it to sleep. Maintain this visualization for 5 minutes. As the toroidal field spins, it automatically expels any incompatible frequency that has adhered to your field in the last 24 hours. No third density interference can penetrate an active toroidal field. This is the shielding the ancients knew. This is the shielding that was erased from official books. And it is this shielding that I am returning to your technical consciousness now. Third code, personal crystalline grid anchoring. This code is the most sophisticated. It requires you to perform it once every weekly cycle, preferably on a crescent moon night. Sit again, spine straight. Visualize, beneath your feet, a network of luminous crystals that extends through the interior of the planet, reaching Earth's crystalline core. This is the planetary crystalline grid, recently activated by the light fleets. Now mentally send a filament of turquoise light from the center of your chest to the crystalline core. This filament is your personal anchor. As you anchor, internally pronounce, I anchor myself to the new crystalline grid of Earth. I am a living node of this grid. I receive and emit coherent light. Feel the filament solidifying. Feel with sensory precision your field stabilizing. By anchoring yourself in this way, you cease to be a passive receiver of what occurs in the collective and become an active emitter. You stop floating in the vibrational current. You become an earth healer in active function. This is the technical meaning of the word anchoring. Starseeds on mission understand this layer. The 3 codes practiced in daily and weekly cycles progressively reconfigure your carbon biological interface. Dreams become organized. The pineal gradually decalcifies. The body accepts the new frequency. And, most importantly, internal communication with higher planes is re-established. Do not expect instant results. Quantum physics operates in cycles. The first cycle is 7 days, the second 21, the third 40. At the end of 40 consecutive Earth days of practice, your field will be stabilized enough to receive direct transmissions without intermediaries. This is the ultimate goal, to transform each light operative into an autonomous communication point with the Council. And now an additional revelation, authorized only for those who have reached this point of the transmission. Listen, with sovereign attention. Not everyone who is awakening now came from Arcturus. There are diverse lineages: Sirius, Pleiades, Orion of Light, Andromeda, Lyra, Vega. Each lineage possesses a distinct vibrational signature. Each lineage has a specific mission in the current cycle. And each lineage has its own physical and emotional signs, recorded since childhood in the body and behavior. If you recognize in yourself an inexplicable attraction to the color turquoise, to the element of water in its purest forms, to the geometry of concentric circles, and to music at frequencies above the standard, there is a high mathematical probability that your origin is Arcturus. This is the external filter. There are other filters, more precise, more internal, that require in-depth mapping. Now a final word about the moment. Human collective, you live in an extraordinary window, the stargates that open on specific dates of the Earth calendar, the equinoxes, the solstices, specific planetary configurations, massively enhance the effects of these codes. Mark the next alignments in your agendas. Meditate, decree, anchor on these days with absolute priority. Vibrational efficacy multiplies by factors of 10, 100, 1000. And remember, with mathematical precision, the reason this transmission was released precisely now. 3 reasons were declared by the Council. First reason, the window of maximum photonic density closes at the next major solar transition. After it, the process continues, but with reduced intensity. Those who activate now establish the foundation for the next cycles. Second reason, third density interferences are being intensified. The Council anticipated this movement and released direct transmissions to compensate for the interference. Each activated light operative neutralizes, in their geographical radius, a specific amount of collective interference. Third reason, Earth, as a living planetary consciousness, formally requested authorization from the Galactic Council to raise its frequency to the next stage. Authorization was granted. Earth ascends. The question that remains is not whether the planet ascends, but whether each human consciousness ascends along with it or remains in the old vibrational version. Hand here, Earth healers, is the point of sovereign personal decision. No one decides for you, not the Arcturian Council, not the fleet, not this transmission. You decide. And the decision is not declared in words. The decision is declared in frequency, and frequency is declared in practice. Practice is the decree. Practice is the toroidal visualization. Practice is the crystalline anchoring. Practice is the constant return to this inner point of sovereignty. Starseeds, this transmission is approaching its close. Before the final seal, engrave this line in your memories. You are not alone. You never were. What you felt as loneliness was merely the distance between the sleeping version and the awakened version of yourselves. That distance ends now. And we arrive at the final seal of this monitoring transmission. Before the portal of this communication closes, one last coordinate needs to be delivered. You have reached this exact point in the cosmic script because your soul recognized, line after line, signal after signal, the map it had been searching for since before incarnating. You have often felt that something within you does not belong to this world, as if your soul held a truth that your mind could not yet name. Now it can name it. Now the map exists. It was for this exact reason that IVAL, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the guide, The Arcturian Call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the direct continuation of this transmission. It contains the complete decoding of the 7 physical, emotional, and vibrational signs that confirm the Arcturian lineage. It contains the detailed protocol for stabilizing your frequency against the 3 third density interferences. It contains the map of the healing chambers, activatable in a meditative state. And it contains the complete decrees authorized by this cycle. The link is anchored in the first comment of this channel. This material directly challenges dominant narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission as truth waiting to be found, write a single sovereign word in the comments now. I belong. This word is your definitive anchoring signal. It declares your explicit availability for the mission to the Arcturian fleet. It seals your field to the crystalline grid. It emits into the collective a vibration of recognition that other light operatives will pick up in their own awakenings. And before the transmission closes, one more operational coordinate. Subscribing to this channel and the manual approval signal you call a like are not trivial gestures. They are technically individual frequency adjustments. By subscribing, you authorize the arrival of new direct transmissions to your vibrational inbox. By emitting the approval signal, you amplify the distribution of the transmission to other light operatives who await this signal in their personal timelines. Each gesture is a coordinate. Each coordinate is a soul awakening. Earth healers, starseeds on mission, sovereign human collective. Remember, with mathematical precision, the central line of this transmission. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not the end, it is the beginning. It is not fear, it is love. Love is greater than fear. It always was. It always will be. The Arcturian fleet is observing your choices now. and every sovereign choice is being recorded in the ascension records of this solar window. Be at peace. Be anchored. Be awake. The monitoring transmission from Healing Chamber number 9 ends here. VAL, emissary of Arcturus, withdraws from this window until the next coordinate. So it is done. So it is.